and transposes just beautifully for film. It's just a beautifully shot movie. But we're seeing more and more productions just when they don't get the incentive, they just will not come here. And I think that that's a tragedy for everybody. For example, there was a movie recently that was shot a couple of years ago called Cut Bank. And Cut Bank is actually kind of a thriller/horror movie that was filmed entirely up in Canada because the incentives were there. They didn't even do the second unit or the exterior shots in Montana. So unfortunately, movies about Montana or that might have a Montana theme are going elsewhere and being filmed in other states and other places because we don't have the incentives here. So I think that's quite sad and quite unfortunate.
Yeah, I remember seeing a show about the Unabomber. It was, they represented Lincoln as having 2 stoplights and living by a big lake. And it's like, no, but that's storytelling, huh?
Right, yeah, and that's, that's unfortunate too because again, there is so much here and we have good crews and good people and just tremendous light. And I think we have so many diverse things. It's a flexible shooting environment out here as far as what we can become. Like I said, in Far and Away, I mean, we're the Oklahoma land rush scene.
That's beautiful.
In Devil's Pond, which is a little scene kind of horror movie, we played like upstate New York and Connecticut, and Kalispell filled in as multiple scenes and multiple places. So we can do it. Again, we have the crew, we have the scenery. And we just need kind of the incentives to retain and hold and sustain these projects.
Yeah. Now, Brian, we're drawn to a close on the show. What are some of the final thoughts you'd like our peoples to remember about Shot in Montana?
Well, I think what I'd like people to remember is that there's a history here of filmmaking. It's been a good one. It's been a productive one. We have ties to all kinds of products and projects and films, not just Westerns, but we also have obviously a river runs through it, did more for Montana as far as tourism and travel than any marketing campaign or slogan could ever do it. So that's all about movies and film, and they leave a permanent residual and they have a permanent impact. And there is one movie that I would encourage everyone to see, which is a beautiful film that was about transitions in life. It was filmed up in Great Falls and Cascade. In 2002, 2003. It's called North Fork. So I think go see North Fork and you can see Montana at its most beautiful on film.
And I know the river runs through it. I mean, every time I see that on TV, I got to watch it.
Sure, sure. I mean, there are folks who will come out from parts all across the world. Folks will come out even today, wanting to fish, Brad Pitt Rock, or wanting to look at different locations and wanting to just to be a part of that. So I think that's the power and the magic of filmmaking and the lasting benefits that film have. And I think Montana, again, it transposes well on film, and it's just there's a history here, and hopefully we'll just continue to build on the history, and the industry will continue to grow and thrive and subsist here.
And subsist. Yeah, I have some friends who are actors, and occasionally on Facebook they put out a call for actors or support actors, and I thought, well, that might be fun.
Well, it's true. Even we've seen with Yellowstone. I had the chance to go and do a set visit. I think one of the things that people forget are the bus drivers, and all the transportation crew and all the prop master who's running all up and down the valley to go get replica chandeliers, or any type of stock or period pieces. So we see that. I mean, there's so much more to it. The money spent, I think, is an asset, obviously, to the communities too, and it's everything. It's a lot of things we don't think about, like the little things. I mean, from like the optometrist to the massage therapist, to the lodging, to the Home Depot, to the trips to the gas station, and more.
And it trickles all the way through our economy.
It does, it absolutely
money runs
does.
through it.
Money runs through it,
Yes.
It does.
Well, Brian, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me. It was nice.
And for our friends who are watching, we've been talking about Shot in Montana. It's over 100 movies that have been shot in Montana. But Brian has over 14 books that he's published. Some of the recent one is Montana and the NFL. and famous and almost forgotten Montana actors in addition to this. So he'll keep generating more books. Thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure having you here and talking about movies. For Community Pulse, I'm Brian Lamour. Good day. Collection, do you have enough room to keep it all in one spot?
We don't have room to keep it all in one spot. We are literally on 3 out of 4 of the floors at the Historical Society's building. We do have some off-site storage as well, but all secure storage in environmentally controlled areas so that we do preserve those collections for future generations.
Well, in accessing and preserving these collections, I mean, it's so very important, but then people want access to them. They would like to know what's there, and you really encourage individuals' access, right? I mean, for the people that are viewing right now, they're saying, well, maybe I have a relative that was in such and such a county so long ago. You make information available to individuals.
That's exactly what we do, is to make information available. We are all about access. We're definitely about preservation, but preservation doesn't make sense if we're not letting people access those collections. So the Research Center has a public reference room that's open Tuesday through Saturday, and anyone